Okay, so welcome back to the next part of our playlist. And in this video, the stage is all set. We are having our portfolio site, which has been wipe coded, running at port 3001 right over here. And we are having our Next.js app running at port 3000 with the test dash page, which we published in our previous video. And then we are having our dotCMS instance running right over here. And if you just come to my terminal right over here, this is where my next app is running, which is connected with my .cms backend. And on my second tab right over here is the site, which is wipe coded by Google AI Studio and which is running on port 3001. So we will be converting this site right over here to our Next.js app site rendered headlessly via .cms. So without wasting our time, let's roll the intro and start the video. Okay, so the first step is to look how your wipe coded site looks like, and over here you can see I'm inside my wipe coded site, which has been generated by that Google AI Studio. And inside your package.json, you can see that there are a couple of dependencies which might be missing in our Next.js app. So those are like this motion, which is for animation stuff. And the second one is this lucid-react, which is for, I would say, icon this stuff. So what we will be doing is we'll just copy this stuff and come into our Next.js package.json and let's paste it right over here. And let's go and copy our motion stuff and paste it right over here. And now let me see if I am missing something. So once that's done, there is no other dependencies required. Let me just take a look. So all good from my side. Now let's open our terminal and let's npm install these dependencies. And once those are being done, let's go and see if there are some global stylings available in our wipe coded site. So if you come to your index.ts right over here, you can see that there are a couple of stylings right over here, which is present. And the reason we wipe coded our site is because we don't want to style each and everything. So let me just copy our this site stylings. And once those are copied, let's kill our terminal and let's go into our Next.js site. And we will be keeping all these stylings in our global.css right over here. So let's come and paste this thing and save this thing. And I think we're good to go. And now if you come to the top, you can see that we are having double imports for our relevant CSS, which is not ideal. So let me just remove the top one. And I think we're good to go. So we have installed the missing packages in our Next.js app. We have copied the global stylings coming from our wipe coded theme. And now I think we are good to go. So now if you just come to our wipe coded site, and if you just go to the entry point of app.tsx, this is what our sites look like, which is wipe coded, right? So we are having our one parent div container, then we are having our motion div right over here, which is our progress bar. Then we are having our navigation bar, and then inside this we are having our, I would say, hero section, our experience section, our testimonials, or I would say rest of the other sections right over here. Okay, and then we are having our footer and all this stuff. So now what we'll be doing is we will be just copying these classes right over here, which is, I would say, our parent classes, and we will be placing all these classes in our, I would say, main component in our, I would say, Next.js app, right? So if we just come to over here, and if you just go to our wildcard routes for rendering our pages coming from .cms, you can see right over here, we are having our page component, which is taking all the content and all the, I would say, data coming from .cms and rendering that content on your front end side. Just go over here and start this, you are having your main section, right? And what I will be doing is I will be just pasting all those classes right over here. So let me just paste it right over here. And once that is done, and let me just remove all the stuff. So once we remove all these, I think we are good to go. So we have copied our global stylings. We have placed our main styling for our main container. We have installed our packages. And now if we just come to Chrome and let's go to our localhost, and the site is not running. So let me just clear my screen and type npm run dev. And since we are having our test page up and running, so it's test dash page. And once you enter this thing, you can see right over here, you are having your global styles being implemented in your Next.js app, similar to the one which we are using in our web coded site. And now it's time to go and replace our header with the header coming from our web coded site. Okay, so for rendering our header, let's go back to our coding section. Let me just quit my terminal and let's go to our web coding side, and inside our navbar component, you can see our navbar component looks something like this. So without wasting our time, let's copy all the content which is coming over here. Let's copy it, and inside our next.js, if you come to your component sections, your component folder, you can see we are already having our header component, which is responsible for rendering our header thing, right? And if you just enter this thing, this is what our header looks like. So just copy the content and paste it over here. It's coming from our web coded site, and let's delete the rest of the stuff, and we are good to go. So now there are a couple of errors which are obvious over here, and some will be related to the imports. So let's see if there are any imports missing. So let's copy all these imports from our web coded site and paste it over here so that we could minimize our errors. And once that is done, you can see we're still having our errors right over here. And the first one is getting our active page. So for that, we will be using our, I would say, path name, which will be equal to use path name coming from Next.js, right? And instead of our active page, we will say path name, and then this should be equals to /home for now. And then inside this button thing, you can see right over here, this button is responsible for navigating back to home. So instead of navigating, we can convert this to link tab right over here, and we can use our Next.js component, which is next link for navigating stuff. And then what we can do is we can just call href, and then we can double quotes say /home right over here. This looks good to me. Let's come ahead, and inside our nav items, you can see right over here, we are getting a couple of errors. Now, these nav items are something which are coming from dotCMS, right? So you can use them, and these are properly typed. So let me just replace this with a couple of things. So instead of button, this will be our link. This Next.js, we will be using our item.hrefs key, and instead of href, this will be item.href. We don't need our on-click handler. And instead of active page, this should be our path name, which should be equal to item.href, and we will not be using our dot to lowercase, and I think this looks good. And for the name of the link, it should be item.href right over here. And now this will be rendering our navigation links coming from dotCMS. Now, if we just scroll down, there are a couple of errors right over here. So we need, I would say, state for handling our, I would say, mobile side navigation, because we need that mobile icon to open and close. For that, we need a state. So since we need a state, we will be coming over here and we will be making this as our, I would say, client side component. So we can say use client, and then we can come over here. We can say, let's create a state. This should be const. And then over here, we can say is menu open. And then we can say set is menu open. And then we can call it as like React. Let's import React.useState. Not use, but it should be use state. And then the default state will be false. And now I think that exception should be gone. Let's go back. And now this should work fine. But instead of, I would say, yeah, this looks good to me because this had to be a button. And then if you scroll down, we are having our mobile navigation items right over here. And these are also coming from navigation items of dotCMS. So this again should be a link right over here. And then over here, it should be item.href. And then we don't need on click. We will be just using our href to item.href. And then what we can do is we can, instead of calling active page, we can use path name equals to item.href. And we will not be using our this thing. and href and then just remove. And I think we're good to go. For title, it should be item.title for the navigation link. And now if you open your diagnosis, I think we're good to go. So there were a couple of errors, we resolved those. And now what we will be doing is just come to our Chrome and we just go to your site and refresh stuff. And right over here, you can see your header being rendered right over here, which is similar to our vibe coded site. And the only problem is that right now we are not having any pages or navigation links coming from .cms. And the reason is quite obvious because we know that we have a test page being published right over here. But the only problem with this test page is that if we just go and edit this thing right over there, you can see that the show on menu is unchecked. So if you want your page to be visible on the navigation menu, just check this, publish this thing, and now just come over here and refresh this thing. You can see right over here, your test page is looking awesome, right? And it is, I would say, we have done something wrong. So if you just come, okay, so this is not item.href. This should be item.title. And now I think this will look good. Yes, working fine. And if you just open your mobile navigation and if you just click on this thing, this also looks good to me. And that's how you have copied your this navigation from whiteboarded side to this right over here. And now let's go and discuss our footer thing because we want our footer to be replaced with this one. So let's go and do that stuff, right? So if you just come to our web coded site and search for footer, this is what the content of footer looks like. To me, I think it's way simple. So this might not be having a lot of errors. So let me just copy all this and let's copy it, come over here and search for footer in our Next.js app. So beside our header, we are also having our footer component, which looks like this. So the only thing we have to do is to just paste the content of our web coded site, remove the rest of the things, and we're good to go. We are missing a couple of imports. So let's see what these imports are. So these are icons coming from Lucid React. Let's also place this right over here. And now I think we're good to go. This doesn't need anything else. Let's see the diagnosis. And the diagnosis has 0 errors. So if you come to your Chrome, refresh this thing, now you're having your beautiful footer right over here. So that's how you are, I was rendering content coming from .cms in the format of your white coded site. And the good part now is that this navigation items are coming from .cms. So let's see if you just come over here and let's go to pages and let's create a new page. And this time it will be page. I will call this as my home page. The URL will be home. And I will just check the show on menu and I will just say save and publish this thing. And once that is published, if you come over here and refresh this thing, you can see your home page being rendered right over here without changing your code and redeploying your site. Just click on home page and this is how your home page looks like, the same header and the footer. And now you can just use order property for managing the order of these pages right over here. So we are having our sort order. So let's say I want to give the home as sort order 1, publish this thing, and then inside your pages, in test page, not this one, but if I go to pages and I edit my test page, and I want this order to be maybe like 2, which is by default, and publish this thing. Now, if you just come to your site and refresh this thing, you can see the home page is having first order and the test page is having second order by default, right? And you can sort them out by using your order property. So if you just come to your uh header.tsx, and if you just come to over here and inside this nav items, you can maybe call it as like nav items and then equal to, you can just open this thing and you can say nav items dot start, and then you can call like pass an arrow function a comma b, and then you can just say like a dot order minus b dot order. And now if you just save this thing, let me just, we are missing one dot over here, so it's another dot. And now this will be sorted. I don't know whether this will sort in ascending or descending, but let's see. Now if you just refresh this thing, it's working fine. But if you just go to the end and if we call this as like a dot order and b dot order and let's save this thing, And now if you just refresh this, you can see the order has been switched. Now the second one comes first and the first one goes into lost, right? But that's what we don't want. We want our a dot order and b dot order. And that's how the orderings look like. And the good part is if you just change the order coming over here to maybe like test page goes to the first order and your home page goes, not this one, just go to pages and edit your page and it's goes to second order and publish this thing and come over here and refresh this thing. You can see your order has been switched. Now test page is at 1 and home page is at 2. So that's the power of dotCMS, giving your content the ability to breathe without changing your code and redeploying your front-end application. So that's all from this video. In the coming on video, we can see that how we could go and render our content, which is our hero section right over here, into our dotCMS site right over here. So that's all from this video. See you in the next section and thanks for watching.